G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to cover all the craziness of the trio cash cups, most specifically Reet, Tayson, and Chapix. You heard that right, 2 EU pros and an NA West pro winning the NA East cash cup until in their final game, they ran into ThomasHD, Flick, and Anas. ThomasHD's team ended up eliminating one of them, and Tayson claimed on Twitter that ThomasHD targeted them, knowing it was them because they were in first, griefed them, so much so that then Tayson blocked ThomasHD on Twitter. Remember, they are duo partners and friends, but a lot of people in the community, ThomasHD himself, saying they went on to win the game and place in money. So it was a good, smart fight that they took, and everyone needs to get over it. So I want to cover that situation because the topic around griefing comes up a lot, and this is an interesting case of that. And at the end of today's video, I have an even more interesting topic. I want to talk about how SerpentAU and Crayola infiltrated a Discord in OCE selling and promoting hacks and managed to shut it down. They managed to make the hacks no longer work by shutting down the Windows keys, and just went to show that how much even community members can do to stop the hacking problem on Fortnite that I've been talking about that's starting to get out of control. And it makes you wonder, does that mean Epic could be doing more if 2 people without any power with Epic managed to stop this whole Discord? Alright, let's kick off with the NA East Trio Cash Cup, and the main story coming out of today was Reet, Tayson, and Chapix, who ended up finishing in 3rd place on 217 points. Finishing in 3rd place as an NA West and 2 EU pros who don't really play together that often is already ridiculous. Look at the start of the tournament. 38 elim win, 14 elim win, 9 elim 2nd, 8 elim 4th, 13 elim win, 3 elim 6th, and then their worst game of the day being their last one, which is going to be the focus of this part of the video, being a 3 elim 10th. Now, again, context for this one, going into their last game, they were hanging out around the Orchard area, they were farming, they were playing it safe, they were taking their time, when they then ended up running into ThomasHD, Flick, and Anas, who ended up pushing out. It was a strange fight. I was watching it live on stream. I was a little bit confused what was going on. ThomasHD pads out, but Flick and Anas stay. They end up taking Chapix out of the game. Reet and Tayson end up rotating in. They don't hold them on the edge of Storm, but it was a very long Storm fight for a last game. But again, ThomasHD's team, they needed a big pop-off game to earn in the money. They needed to jump up on the leaderboard because going into that game, they weren't doing that great. They weren't down the leaderboard, but they're in a chance with money. But Reet, Tayson, and Chapix going onto social media to claim that they were target griefed. This is the part that I found interesting because Reet, Tayson, and Chapix were not streaming. It would have been hard to know it's them, but I'm guessing Tayson had his evidence to know, or when he made this claim, he had some reason behind it. He tweeted out, "Wow, griefed by good friends because they know it's us and we're in first. Really sad by them." And then ThomasHD then tweeted out that Tayson actually blocked him. So I don't think this was like a joke. I don't think this was like an impression farm or a meme, but ThomasHD went on to make a very, very good point that they actually won the game. He tweeted, "Everyone's saying that we griefed them. Shut up, fanboys, please. We didn't lose anything and won the game." And because of that, they did. They ended up getting a 13 elim win, which put them in 11th place overall, earning the money which they previously wouldn't have had before this game. So you guys know me. I don't like to choose sides. I've got friends on both sides of this. I'm, of course, very good friends with Reet, especially, so I understand their frustration. It was a very, very aggressive fight that ended up costing them a lot. Reet, Tayson, and Chapix winning an NA East Cash Cup would have been crazy. I would still argue a 3rd place is insanely impressive, but these guys are content creators as well, so money at the end of the day, 1st place video is going to do a lot better than a 3rd place video. So even though they maybe only lost a few $100s, which to some of these guys with ridiculous earnings might not seem like a lot, it is an interesting topic to talk about. Yes, it was a fight that was incredibly aggressive and otherwise would have been a pretty stupid fight, but they needed an aggressive game to get eliminations, to get money, which they ended up doing. But I think the area that made this really interesting and why I wanted to talk about it is that Tayson specifically said that ThomasHD knew it was them and pushed them because of it. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm assuming Tayson has some evidence of this. They weren't streaming, so I couldn't see it, but maybe they knew the skins. They would have known they were in their game, and maybe they just identified the playstyle and the skins. But if I'm ThomasHD's team and I need to make money to win a cash cup, or at least, you know, have a really good game to make money, I'm not keying a team of Reet, Tayson, and Chapix, especially when I myself from EU are on high ping as well. It's not like you have the ping advantage. This isn't an EU cup and they think Reet might be an easy kill because he's high ping. They were all high ping. So I just wanted to talk about it because I think there was a lot of information going around. A lot of people confused what was going on. I hope Tayson and ThomasHD patched things up and it was a misunderstanding, because they are unarguably one of the best duos in the world, and I'd love to see them keep playing together, but it's crazy. This is how Fortnite goes, I guess. It feels so strange to focus on third place, but we did have a big first place performance from Saf, Kanata, and Stretch, winning it all on 228 points, 1 point above Chronic J's, TNG's Nani, and again, Spixie, I think is how I say his name, or Spexy. I call him Alejandro, is what he tells me to call him in his chat, who just came back from a 1-month holiday and is already now placed second in the NA East Cash Cup. So massive performance by them. We saw a lot of consistency like we seem to normally see. Once a team or player does well in one Cash Cup, they seem to go on to do really well in the other regions as well. We had Stretch, Kanata, and Saf placing 5th on NA West, which it was, of course, won by Arkham, Rex, and Epic Whale. Like, whoa, oh my gosh, West was won by Epic Whale's team, but still a really good performance by them, winning it on NA West too. The EU Trio Cash Cup, sadly, this was the first one that I haven't been able to watch in a while. I just really needed a rest after such a long weekend, but the leaderboard was insane. Like, I'm talking insane points. If we talk about the fact that East was won on 228 points, but you look at EU being won on 244, and second is on 222, third's on 214, like, this was crazy. But congrats to Sean VP's team taking it all. Their match history was ridiculous. We had Aqua's team in second on 222, Seti Kami Teak on 214. We had Putrix team that just missed out on qualifying on the weekend, like I already talked about, on 212. We then had Sky's team on 211, High Chris's team on 209, and this one confuses me. This is a team that hasn't made it out of round 1 2 FNCSs in a row, but keeps placing in Cash Cups, which confuses me because a round 1 FNCS is very similar to a Cash Cup. It opens, everyone plays it, but you get high skill-based matchmaking. You have to do well in those lobbies. I don't know if the FNCS pressure was just getting to him. I'm not really sure. We had Woodsy's team in 7th. We had Andalix's team in 8th, showing their insane consistency after this weekend. And we had Joe, Benji, and Shadow get 205 points, finishing in 9th with 8 matches played, 4 victory royales. And that's what a lot of people have raised as an interesting situation. How can you get 9th with winning 4 games out of 8th in a battle royale? Unfortunately, their last 2 games being their worst, they did invest a little bit of time into those games, which is the problem. They got a 0 elim 17th in their very last game. That was 22 minutes to get very few points, but it's still pretty crazy to think about that a 30 elim win to kick off the tournament as well. So they were getting frags, and then consistent elim games, but not getting those double digits consistently is enough to only get you 9th. And that's how hard EU is pushing these Cash Cups, I guess. Now, let's move on to this situation with SerpentAU and Crayola, 2 very prominent members in the OCE scene, infiltrating a Discord of hackers and shutting it down. And already, you might have clued in, wait, Aussie, did you say SerpentAU? Which, yes, the same SerpentAU who obviously gained a ridiculous amount of popularity a while ago as the fastest editor in the world, ended up getting exposed for macros, but since then, really has been on the right foot of trying to push forward and create a better name in the community. He's, for example, started donating all of the proceeds he gets from his supporter creator code to charity. He has now done this, which I think is incredibly awesome. I still don't fully understand how he did this. I'm probably going to reach out to SerpentAU for some more information as well, but I did want to talk about it. So basically, similar to the video I did recently where I talked about a TikTok where a player was hacking and on stream or recorded him hacking, eliminating Rel and Oatly, and then used this to promote the fact that he was hacking and make jokes about it, which has then directed more people to this Discord selling hacks, and they've pretty much been running rampant in OCE. SerpentAU tweeted out, a new cheat provider has quickly ruined OCE for weeks. Epic wouldn't do anything about this huge problem, so me and Crayola got all the cheat keys terminated and took down the website. Now everything is gone and all the customers have wasted hundreds of dollars. Have fun in FNCS, which is crazy. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about how cheats or hacks work. I don't really even understand how they shut down the Windows keys, but basically you can see the photos here and the DMs, they have blocked out the names for people's privacy, showing that the players' keys no longer work. They basically shut down the Discord, and the owner of the Discord even said, sold the Discord, will no longer be the owner, peace. And I just think this is crazy. Again, I don't fully understand how they can, invalidate the keys, but if two members of the community with no power, they don't work for Epic, they don't have connections with Epic, they're not developers, they don't develop the game, they have no admin permissions, can manage to shut down an entire Discord of hackers, which have been ruining OCE tournaments for a while now, pretty much every cash cup being riddled with hackers, even the skin cups, a lot of OCE pros complaining about the situation. If these two people can do it, why isn't Epic? And again, I've been talking recently about how my position on the anti-cheat has been shifting, me thinking that the anti-cheat isn't actually maybe as strong as I always thought it was. Either that or cheat developers are getting a lot better in recent times, and there's a few people in the community really talking about this. Calazo, good friend of mine, made a whole video talking about how Epic can improve, and one big part of that was the anti-cheat, saying just how many pros or players are cheating. I talked about in yesterday's video how we've seen a huge rise in people placing in solo cash cups seemingly out of nowhere, and I don't want to say they're all cheating or hacking, but the coincidence between the two is a little bit scary. We're seeing a rise in hackers that are getting caught, but we're also seeing a rise in people randomly placing out of nowhere, potentially hacking and not getting caught. I'm not calling out names. Please, again, don't think that anyone who's now placed in a tournament that you don't know about is a hacker. That's not at all what I'm saying, but this is starting to be a slippery slope, and I really hope we get maybe a public statement from Epic or a really big statement maybe towards increasing the anti-cheat, or a big ban wave, or something that'll increase the community's confidence in the anti-cheat. Because right now, I think it's a scary situation where as more people start hacking, it gets more prevalent, more players go look to hack. They think, oh, everyone's doing it, why don't I do it? It's the same thing that happened on Warzone. So that's why I'm not going to be promoting any of these Discords or the people in them, but it's scary that they are this big. And again, just want to give a huge shout out and props to SerpentAU and Crayola for going out of their way and taking their time to do this for really no gain other than just fixing up the servers. They didn't really even get that much attention for this, and I know SerpentAU, someone who has been on the receiving end of a lot of hate from the community. I think it's awesome that he's come back and he's trying to do things positive and trying to do things right by the community. Alright guys, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on anything I talked about today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.